Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast, episode 283. I'm one of your hosts, Neo Ayoshi, sitting here with Felix Hergood.
Hey, what's up?
Trip Zero TV.
How you go? The TV threw me off, dude.
Trip Zero.
I don't want the TV as part of my name. I only put that there because
Threw you a curveball.
someone took Trip Zero. God damn it! What's up, guys? It's Trip Zero. Yeah, you guys know that, right? It's like a travel company. It's a company that will book your travel with zero carbon emissions, which is a great idea. But fuck you, that's my name.
Dude,
You
I've
know, that's good
literally,
for SEO on your part. You know what I mean?
we did our first quarantine episode like around 250 or 251 or something like that.
Shit.
We're now
that's
at
wild.
283. I've only seen you on a TV. I haven't seen you in the flesh. You are Trip
Wow.
Zero TV.
I am
You've
Trip Zero
come
TV.
into your own name.
It's true.
official.
I hate it. Actually. Yeah, it's kind of wild, man. I was flipping through Instagram, and a friend of mine on Instagram has been like tagging her stories with the day since they locked down where she lives. And today it was like day 323, and I'm like, oh my god, it has been
It's been that long.
that many days. And I was like, holy shit, dude, this is rough.
Who knows? Who knows if we'll ever be in the same room again doing up this podcast?
Never. Just the rest of existence is like this.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way it goes.
What's that movie? 28 Days Later, 323 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
it. We're
Hell
in
of a
the
plot.
sequel.
Oh, anyway, man.
Well, if you
That's
guys didn't know, this is the Emergent Gamer Podcast. You can follow us on YouTube, which we just hit 100 subscribers in.
We
Thank you
did.
very much. Keep going, baby. We want more. Follow us on all the podcast feeds you got, and we are on twitch.tv/emergent_gamer every Wednesday, unless we otherwise specify otherwise. Thank you for joining us today. Boys, we had a fun snow day this week. We got some massive
It's
snow.
fucking
We had.
great.
I think it's still snowing, dude. I gotta double check, man. But at least
It
this
is.
morning it was.
It's supposed
like
to snow
12
again
inches out there.
soon. And the good news is about the fact that it's going to be snowing again soon is the fact that it's not getting warmer. So the layer
Oh,
of
no.
snow that's
Well,
already
The groundhog,
out
the
there is
groundhog
good-
did
just
see a
gonna stay.
shadow. We got 6 more weeks of winter coming, so that
Yeah.
is a fact. Science dictates the groundhog.
Mhm.
His word, it dictates it.
Shit's
Is it
Um,
science or is it mysticism? Not really.
It's obviously science.
Verdict
Obvious.
isn't in on that one yet.
So
the
what
verdict's
have, you
in.
what have you guys been?
The
you guys
verdict's in, that's bullshit.
play any video games on your snow day? On your nice day, inside, not doing anything else?
I did.
Go
You
ahead.
want to go
Felix.
first there, Trip Zero?
Oh,
Go ahead,
sure. I'll
Trip
rip it.
Zero.
I'll rip it.
Rip it.
Never not playing some video games, even when I should be doing other things. Well,
This is
during
the way.
my snow days, let's see what I've been doing. I've had a couple maintenance games that I've been hitting up. Obviously, everyone knows I play Destiny. Big surprise.
What the fuck
Um,
is a maintenance game again?
It's like I call them my service games that I really like playing, but maybe I'm like doing other things primarily, and I'm just like chilling, That's what that's at that point it's a maintenance game, and Destiny right now is a maintenance game. It would be regardless of the year, throw any year into the mix since the game has come out, and this would be the maintenance time, like when the big content dips are there, and we're just playing, along with the motions. I've been doing more Final Fantasy 14 though. And that's been fun. Got my first character to level 80, which is the current max.
Oh
and
my god!
I did. I got one to 80. And it's funny because I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 since before they remade it. So it's finally happened in the year 2021. I finally done it, dude.
I'm proud.
I'm
Of
still
you.
somewhere in the middle of the Stormblood story, which is not the most recent, but it's the one before the most recent. So I'm just,
Right.
every day vibing, chipping away at the world a little bit.
Story's
Well-
good. You enjoying it? Is it capturing your?
It's to be honest, I liked Heavensward a little bit better. Stormblood is okay.
Oh,
It's got better
I did
characters.
not like Sword.
No,
Yeah, I didn't jive with that whole story, and I don't even remember half of it. It's probably a
yeah, there was a
why.
lot of like remember when Game of Thrones would be really boring? This is like the really really boring Game of Thrones during Heavensward. Like there's a lot of political
a
movements
lot of
and
political
things.
shit.
Yeah, and I mean I think I
Heavensward,
vibe with it because I was a dragoon, and a dragoon is like central to the story. So I
It's
enjoyed
like
that
the-
aspect of it.
It's like the prequel
Yeah.
trilogy, Trip Zero.
Yeah,
Star
exactly.
Wars.
But Stormblood I think that one gets really interesting. You get like a fresh cast of characters that you kind of like roll with, and like some old ones get like a personality upgrade, And like,
yeah, and I'm not done it, and I feel like story wise, the pacing is definitely better. The writing overall is better. I'm just not personally invested in the things that I had been going through. Like there was like we took a hard detour into like this area where you eventually get the ability to swim, but before you get that, you're like just literally like surface swimming between the standalone islands, and there's like these fucking amphibian people that I literally don't give a shit about, and they had something going on. I was like, I don't know what's happening, dude. I don't understand this. I don't want to understand this. I don't care. They're just like fish people. I'm going down to their like little underwater cities, which look like Jar Jar Binks's cities. Speaking of the prequel series,
they kind of do, like a little bubbles.
Yeah, you swim under the water into their little bubble cities, and I was like, this is.
It's funny.
Give a shit, dude. And then like there's this kid from the main village who's like being a bitch when we want to help him out and like save his village from like the big bad guys, and he's like, there's nothing we can do, they're just gonna kill us anyway. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. So story wise, like it's better, but I'm just not invested personally.
I can't wait to
I had a great time playing the game.
Shadowbringers. Yeah, of course. No, Shadowbringers, like if you think Final Fantasy 14 is full of like hard left turns of like whatever is happening, happens all the time. And Shadowbringers is probably the biggest left turn, but it's really good and really engaging. That's
what I hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this might still come together at the end. It's getting better for sure now that we've left the water area. Other than that, been streaming Stardew Valley, and I officially finished my challenge, which was to save the town's community center in the first year. So that went great. I'm very excited for that. And I found the new island streaming last night. There's a whole new island in Stardew Valley that you have to actually find a way to get to on a boat. And once you get there, there's like a volcano that's like another dungeon that you can like, you know, fight enemies in and like find resources and shit. And I think there's like another plot of land that I might be able to like get a house in and have like a second farm on this island. I don't know. I'm figuring things out. I'm not looking anything up, but it's been real exciting to play more Stardew. And then the last thing that I've been hitting on my like my go to sleep time is Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age on the Switch.
Oh my god. I am still halfway through that game. I started it like last year or whatever.
Yeah, dude, I felt like having just like a portable in-depth RPG, and I forgot that I had bought this when all the Final Fantasies came out. And I played 12 when it released on the PS2. But I didn't really vibe with it when it came out. Like I did, but I think I didn't really vibe with the systems. I might have just been too young too for a game that needed that much like mental focus, because it did. Like the Gambit system of Final Fantasy 12 is essentially like you're writing code. You're writing simplified code for your party, because you control one character and the rest of your party acts by itself. So you have to like essentially set up if and statements to control their behavior and do line by line in order of hierarchy.
The coolest
it's actually
thing about
really,
that
really cool when you like dive into it, because you have the ability to just define the behavior of every one of your characters down to like the minute detail, and it's incredible. But yeah, when it first came out, I think I was just too young, and I was like, I don't really give a fuck about any of this. And the town's cool. I like the people. Voice acting is great. It was the best looking game on PS2. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But then I just kind of like let it fall by the wayside. So I'm already way past where I was when it came out, and I'm having a blast, man. It's a really, really fun game.
Whereabouts
really fun game. I'm enjoying it.
Whereabouts are you in it? Do you know?
I am. Where am I?
I totally forgot what I was doing, and I was playing it. I played it last year. Like I'm definitely halfway through it.
Yeah.
And I don't care about the characters. Like the characters are not as interesting as like other Final Fantasy games, which is kind of a shame.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm kind of interested. It's weird. I'm definitely more interested in this plot than I am in like the Final Fantasy 14 plot if we were to put them side by side. I just went through a dungeon where these like mimics were like chewing on the power lines and absorbing power, and I had to go kill them to like be able to work the doors in this dungeon. It was after I was escaping somewhere. I was in prison.
I'm trying to think. Damn, you might be past me already then.
It's still
I don't remember that.
Fairly early, I feel like. Like we went on this mission, this plot to.
Oh, then I might have already done that.
We met up with Bosch, who everyone thinks killed the king, but it's actually he's got a twin brother. So now we're escaping with Bosch. We busted him out of prison. He's like, "Oh, I got a twin." Everyone's like, "Oh, sure, dude, the twin excuse." So we're busting him out of prison, and we just officially made it out, and now we're back in the sands. We're going back to the city now that we're free again, even though we're trying to keep a low profile. It's like any kind of political Final Fantasy where you lose yourself a little bit in the minutia, but we're making big strides. Oh, I think we picked up Princess Ash too, who is calling herself a different name, who everyone thinks.
Oh, yeah, you're
Died.
early. That is early in the game then.
So we're still pretty early on, but there's a lot
Nice.
going on for sure, and I'm enjoying having like something with that much substance to sink my teeth into that's portable, which again is just a testament to the Switch and how great of a console that is. But yeah, man, that's my quick recap. A lot of different things. I'm feeling a lot of different vibes
Yep.
gaming wise.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
You got to spread out the love.
Yeah.
Felix, what's up?
Oh, it's really quick. It's not much. I mean, I had 6 fucking days off, and you would have thought I gamed a lot, but
Yeah.
I finished Cyberpunk 2077, despite
Very
all
nice.
of the critics.
Officially.
Not you, Trip Zero. I'm talking about beyond this podcast.
Mhm.
Despite all the people saying it's an unplayable game, that's not true. I completed the whole fucking thing.
I mean, it's playable.
I mean, yeah, I completed
It's
the
a
game.
playable goddamn game. I made one of the 5 decisions. I only know there's 5 decisions because I cheated and looked up what the trophies are.
Mhm.
So there's 5 different decisions. One of them, all of them, no, sorry, 3 of them, because I completed 1 out of 5. 3 of them, you know how when you finish a game, if it has like an ending part, it goes, this is your point of no return. Wrap shit up.
Yes.
You know, whatever.
Yep.
Then you
Yeah,
play
They're
through
very
it.
clear about that in Cyberpunk. You're about to walk in a building, and they're like, "Hey, if you've got shit to do,
So you
won't
got
be
that
able to
far.
until
You
you're
got
done."
that far, Trip Zero?
Well, I finished the game. I have an ending.
You have an ending.
I have a path
Okay.
that I've chosen. I've been through that whole thing, and then I am back in the game, reloaded.
Okay.
Um,
So
I have something to tell you. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not for the show, but you asked a question when we were last talking about Cyberpunk, just me and you, and I have an answer to a question you had asked.
what
But
was
we
the
can
question?
we can. You didn't know where I got a jacket. You're like, I've never seen that jacket around.
Oh. Okay.
And now that you finished the game, I can tell you where to get the jacket if you'd want. But I know there are some people that haven't finished it, so maybe we don't do this on the air or
We'll
part of the
talk
show.
about that
so.
later.
That's me.
So anyway, so it goes and it tells you warning. And by the way, the only thing I didn't complete was Kerry Eurodyne's storyline. Like, got his trophy. I didn't get that before I finished the game. I got a call from him. Actually, I finished the game and then got a call from him after the game. Like when I went back into, because what it does is you go through all those ending things, and then it goes right back to that save point when you decide to start over after the credits or whatever. And then I get a call. I'm walking away, and I get a call. I think maybe I skipped time for like 24 hours for whatever reason. And then I get this call from Kerry Eurodyne. Hey, we're going to finish these quests. You know, I'm like, basically like, where the fuck were you? Why weren't you calling me? I had known him for a while with some bunch of shit I did. So I'm like trying to figure out, you know, why he suddenly called me. But here's what I observed. Of the 4 that I didn't get, the endings, 3 of them you can just get if you just load at that save point. Because the decisions you make can be changed in that whole ending sequence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I should be able to get those other endings without having to go. The impression I had was some of the choices are earlier on, and that you would then have miss them, you know, if you had a later save file. There's literally
Right.
only one choice that results in a different ending that you'll miss mid-game, and that's it. So I think I'm only going to have to create a new save file to do the one. I think the other 2 I can just complete, or the other 3 I can just complete just by reloading that save file.
Yeah. And are there still more trophies for you to get if you
I
were just to play it all the way through?
I have a total of 5. No, sorry. I have a total of 4 hidden trophies, which are all the different endings. And then I think I have a total of 9 trophies left. The other ones are just stupid. Just those like dumb trophies that are like one of them that I just completed is like somebody throws a grenade and shoot it with a revolver. I'm like, okay, fine.
Something like yeah.
I did that.
The little like skill-based ones, but like the real obscure skill-based things.
But here's the thing: I tried the first one that I have in those, and I think it's just broken because it won't work. And I saw people do it online. I did it exactly like them. Won't pop for me. So
Are you sure you did exactly like them?
It's the one where you have to take a pistol and shoot 3 people consecutively in a short amount of time when you're next to them. And I did it so many different ways. I killed so many people, and it will not load. I'm so pissed. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to get too into the weeds of trying to solve that, but I know
we're
the game's
not
got a lot of
solving
ways of killing. So maybe like there's an environmental thing that's actually killing them, or like maybe it's burn damage that's killing them from your gun.
Who knows?
Something like
something stupid,
weirdly specific that might be preventing that from popping.
Probably.
But, like I said,
I'll have to wait.
workshop that.
My philosophy on it is I'm not going to do all the other playthroughs now. I'm putting the game fucking down, and I am going to wait until the internet produces more solutions and then go back and watch videos.
Solid way to handle it. Yeah, that works.
Well, you saw that roadmap. You know those fixes are coming.
Sure. Yeah. Well, wait for that too.
2021.
They'll patch the fuck out of it.
2021.
It'll be a completely different game. I'll have a good time playing it later.
Here we have things. Here we have stuff, and here we have updates in 2021.
And speaking of like them patching things, I finessed the money glitch the way it's supposed to be done. I don't mean the way it's supposed to be done. The way I was doing it before, it wasn't really a money glitch. It was, there's a broken painting that, like I said, you put into a vending machine, you get the money, and then you get it back for 5, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The way that people have, I watched another video that finesses that even further.
Mm-hmm.
The way that people actually do it, which does break the economy of the game, is you basically click on the Xbox, it's the left picture-in-picture button, whatever that's fucking called, with the button to open the fucking vending machine. You do them at exactly the same time, it glitches the vending machine. And then the items that you already put in it that you sold to the vending machine, you can just duplicate endlessly by clicking on them. So I did this, and I got 3,000 paintings of this one painting.
Yeah.
Once you don't even need 3,000. 3,000 was overkill.
Glitches back.
That means
so on your character is somehow carrying 3,000 portraits.
Yes.
These paintings.
Yes. 3,000 portraits.
What medium? What canvas type? Do you know what he's walking around here?
I don't even
Are they
know.
framed or not framed? Framed would add a lot of weight to those 3,000 portraits.
But anyone listening right now, do the math. If you can do it in your head, great. If you can pull out a calculator, do it. On your phone, obviously, not a fucking...
Pull over and do this.
Multiply 3,000 times 4,000, and that's how much potential
that's
money...
not hard, dude.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
12 million. Yeah.
That's how much...
You multiply the first numbers, and since the rest are zeros, you can just add up the zeros and add them on to the end of the number.
Right.
It works.
So that's potentially how much... That's potentially how much fucking money I have, because whenever I walk up to a vendor, I can just unload paintings on the vendor to get everything in the store.
So in other words, you got the supply of paintings that you're working off of. Like the paintings are your currency. You've got like bitcoins in your pocket.
The paintings are my currency.
One painting is like worth $3,000.
Now, if they patch this, because this is like clearly a glitch of an exploit of their system, right? My question is, on a single player game like this, that doesn't really have like a microtransaction, like financial tie, because the game doesn't have microtransactions really at all.
Right.
Are they going to put the effort to like patch that? And if they do, will it just disappear and then I'll still have the paintings, or will suddenly the paintings be gone? Will all of the worth and value that I got out of this end up being associated with the character? And do I care? I don't really fucking care.
I think the ultimate answer is you shouldn't care. The second answer is there's no way to know how that is going to shake out, but I don't think, in my personal opinion, they're going to care to adjust people's inventories in a single player game versus some exploit in like something that's always online. I don't think they're going to be like, oh, this man's holding way too many paintings. We're going to go in a Felix for Good save file and fucking.
And the other question is, do they even have the power to do that? I mean, in most cases, it's a local save file.
Well, they
But
could patch
they
the
can set
exploit and
limits.
keep you from doing it again, but
Right,
Yeah, they can set item limits maybe.
Right.
But you can just go
Anyway.
into your item manager and like I'm sure someone has a file manager at this point, right? Where you can just edit your own files. Yeah.
Well, and then here's my other thought, and this is not, you're not going to agree with this, but I'm going to put it out there. You know how your biggest criticism of the Game Trip Zero is that they made essentially a god simulator or a way of like manipulating the world like cybernetically by
Mhm.
adding all these implants and changing and things like that, to the point where the game becomes so easy that like there's no point in even fucking playing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that this possibly was just put in the game for that reason? To give people a
No.
cheat code?
No,
You don't think it's a cheat code?
no, this
You
is
don't
not.
think-
no.
No.
This is
So-
1000% unintentional.
okay.
This is just another factor of their not putting out a well-polished game.
But do you remember when?
Just
Do you remember all the
thing.
GTA games had specific cheat codes you could put in on purpose?
Those were intentional.
Right. Okay.
Those were like infinite ammo and like all that stuff that and all the weapons from like GTA 3. Yeah, those were intentionally put in the game. Those were like legit key commands that you could enter when playing to get those things.
Yeah, I agree.
This I don't think is that. This is like the equivalent of like the Diablo 2 duping glitch that used to exist, and then they made closed battle nets so people couldn't exploit that. You played on an always online character, so you could not take advantage of modifying your character outside of the game's limits.
And
Mhm.
here's my other thought with the whole thing is going back to, so what I've determined, Trip Zero, is even further than what I had determined before. Once you finish literally every quest in the game, there is nothing to earn on at all. There's no way to
Yeah.
earn money at all.
Mhm.
Yep.
The only way that I was able to go and buy new things, buy all of the clothing from these stores. And of course, I did it to the extreme measure of like buying every piece of inventory in this store and this one and this one and this one.
I have a question.
Yeah.
One
go ahead.
one thing, yeah.
Why can't you steal in Cyberpunk 2077?
Right.
That's a
Pickpocket.
big, yeah.
Why can't I go
Or
to a
just
clothing
drop
store and
it.
steal the clothing if I don't have the money to buy the clothing?
Another big thing that I like
I don't know.
thing that they dropped the ball on is why is there no Gwent like game in this game? Or a way like Red Dead has that shit, like you can like play poker and gamble. Why
Uh-huh.
isn't any of that stuff in there so you can like gamble with it?
Another
credits.
great point.
Yeah. It's,
None-
Witcher had that shit.
yeah.
Sorry,
Retrospective.
I didn't mean to
weird.
derail your.
No,
your
you're
conversation.
fine.
Another, like,
Retrospectively,
Why should this game have this?
now
thing
that
right?
I've played all this game to the maximum you could, a 200-hour save file.
Mhm.
I agree with you. This game has a lot of like, what the fuck? Why isn't this shit in such a talked up game? Like it's fucking.
It just
It's weird.
yeah, and I think it hits hard because I am sad. I wanted more out of it. I wanted more out of it from a substance point of view. I wanted more out of it from a tone point of view. Like I think they missed a lot on the tone. Like I think they're like I get being edgy, but I think some things were just like weird and not very well thought out for the world that we live in today. And I think they're missing out on just like so many systems in the game that could have made people have more fun with it, you know, in terms of like player engagement beyond the main story.
But the other
Mhm.
point I was going to say is about the end story points. I said all of them can be changed in that last block of story, the point of no return story.
Mhm.
Almost all of them can be changed. It would be way more interesting if most of those could somehow be. It would suck, but if I had to go back and play whole save files because all of those points could be changed earlier, that would be way more interesting. There's literally only one story thread where you could affect the end of the game in the middle of the game. Every other story thread that there's 5 different endings, right? The 4 of those can be completed in that last chunk. You can change the ending in the last 5 fucking minutes of the game, right? So
Right.
that shows me there's even less effort put into it because they
Mhm.
didn't figure out a complexity that allowed for you to make fucking weird mistakes in the middle of the story, which my guess is, and I have zero experience, but you both have experience with this. My guess is Mass Effect does that. Am I right?
It does. It does. Indeed.
Like, you can fuck
and it
something
carries
up
over between games.
Right. It carries over between games, and I think this is topical because they're getting ready to come out with that new release.
You could have
right?
a character. You could have a character die in the first game, and that character for you will be written out of the following game, like completely. Their storyline that
Wow.
was made for the second game, just not in it because your character did something different.
And my
in the
guess
first
is earlier in the main story of the first game, there's decisions you could fuck up that change shit at the end. Right.
Mhm.
It's just well,
and
that's
to
dope.
keep-
That's incredible, and it's incredible to think
Mhm.
that they were like, hey, we want you to experience a story so much so that we're gonna lock you out of seeing everything to give you a better personal experience. And I think that's really important because I think a lot of gamers today are obsessed with like this need to see and experience everything. I need my money's worth. I need my value. I've got to be able to do everything on my character or whatever. Like, you got to start new saves.
that experience is your value, right?
Right. Yeah. It's like, don't you value something that's catering to exactly how you
Yeah.
specifically are playing and interacting with the world? Like that's the
Mhm.
value to me, honestly.
yeah.
And
Anyway.
to keep it on CD Projekt Red, even The Witcher 3 being one of those choice-based games, had mid-game choices that did affect what happens throughout the game. Choices
Right.
that you make in side quests, like the Red Baron quest, the Bloody Baron quest,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and choices you make with your relationships with like Ciri and not Ciri, Yennefer and Triss.
Triss.
Those all were affected by choices and decisions that you made in the middle of the game. So it's wild to me to think that this game dropped the ball so hard on a lot of things that they're already good at. Like, what happened?
Mhm.
Like, that's gonna be an interesting thing to like look back on and see, like, because like they had the formula, they had everything, they knew how to do this, they knew how to make an experience that could cater to you and could give you a personalized experience like people had with Geralt in The Witcher 3. Like, that was a very personal experience for everyone who played it.
And it's crazy. That's not even a character where you can plant your own like personality on it.
Yeah,
You're
he was
you're
a very
forced-
defined character.
You're
Yeah.
forced to follow Geralt. The only thing you could do differently is decide to bang some whores more.
But here's
which-
the
which I
thing:
did.
the same thing kind of is with V. V has her set talking points that you pick
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
They're all predefined. Like, those are all like, they predefine her or his personality no matter what you're doing in the game. Like, you're just picking choice 1 through 3 or 4 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But,
And here,
you know,
here's the other interesting thing. Because of that economy problem, Trip Zero, I realize now this is the only open world game I've ever played, the only one, and that includes all the Assassin's Creed games that I fucking played, where it's more beneficial to completely burn the story first, complete the whole fucking thing, because
that's good to know.
then you finish it, and then you have all this economy that you can fuck with.
Yep.
I
like,
kind of just
but-
want to finish the story at this point.
I mean,
Right.
that's what I did. I got to a point where I was like,
You should rip it.
I'm just gonna power through this and rip it off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because like doing it the way I
Is
did,
there-
where the story's on the back end, it was just fucking. There was nothing to do. There's no economy. There's nothing.
Let me ask you before we move
I
on.
had to use
guess,
the glitch. Go ahead.
we get it. We get it. you made your
Oh,
point.
I'm shutting up.
Um,
I'm shutting up.
No, you're fine. Let me ask you before we move on from Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: is it beneficial to take on certain main missions at the same time? Like, I got Takamura waiting in the wind. I got Judy waiting for me, and I got Pan Am waiting for me. Is it important for me to like do all of Judy's stuff, do all of Pan Am's stuff, or can I mix it up, or should I power through individual storylines and then will it all converge?
It's
that's
sad to
that's a
tell you
question.
this, but Pan Am and Judy are just side pieces. That's
They are not part of their
They're not.
storylines are not part of the main
Well,
story. Okay.
There's
Is Takamura?
yes.
Takamura is a main thread.
Do you want me to
okay.
spoil a little bit? I'll just spoil. a
No,
little
I
bit.
don't. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
There are some
Spoil-
characters that are involved in the ending, but you know, like.
Does it matter if I do their story though? Like, do I need to do their story? I'm going to, but
It definitely matters if you do Pan Am and Judy, kind of.
all right, I'll do their stuff.
I don't know
I'll do-
what would
matters to
happen
the end.
if you didn't do their story at all and completed it. I have no idea what the result would be. I don't know because they're tangentially connected, and I don't know what the
Okay.
game looks like when you do that ending without them.
Okay, that's good. Good to know.
I don't think you. You definitely Takamura is definitely involved. So, but I don't want to spoil it. So
Nope,
you
enough
got to make
said.
some decisions with Takamura and figure it out.
I think.
But there's something
without
very
spoiling,
missable with him. There's something very missable with Takamura. Just so you know.
Takamura is your gateway to the primary story, whereas Panam and Judy are not. They're
Cool.
they're supplemental.
Yeah.
So if that
Good to
helps
know.
figure things out, yeah.
It does. It does affect my decision making.
Same with
Very
River
nice.
and same with Carrie Uridine.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else, Felix?
That's it. No, I'm done. Had nothing more to say.
Sweet. All right. I've been playing a few games.
Yeah. Tell us.
Let me start with. I'm going to start with the old game that I've been playing. I decided to install Shadow of War, Middle Earth, Shadow of War,
Never played
and
that.
play that game.
Wow.
I
dude.
saw. I know. One of my friends actually. He's currently watching on Twitch right now. What's up? How you doing, Skade? He was playing that a few weeks ago, and I watched him play it, and I was like, "This looks like a really cool Batman-like combat experience where it's like a power fantasy, right?" And I wrote this game off initially because of how it butchered Tolkien's lore and butchered his story. It just completely takes his amazingly built constructed world and like
Mhm.
the game just kind of like shits all over it and
Which
uses it as a
one?
way of the Middle Earth, Shadow of War.
Shadow
Dude,
War.
they turn both of those games.
Well, the
They
first
take
one made.
Shelob,
Yeah.
the spider, and they turn her into a sexy lady, and who desires a ring of power. That is essentially where I am in the story. That is what she is, and that is in no way, shape, or form how this character is supposed to be in the story.
But is she
original
9
games.
feet 6 inches?
She is not 9 feet 6 inches, but
Who was,
I'm on board for
who
that.
was Shelob
Well,
in Lord of the Rings? Like in the movies?
Shelob is this. She's in the movies. Oh
I
yeah,
don't
she's in the
fucking
movies.
remember.
You do remember because she's the spider in Return of the King that Gollum leads Sam and Frodo into a trap, and Frodo gets caught, and then Sam thinks he's dead, and then Sam ends up fighting Shelob and kills Shelob with a sword.
Is Shelob
with
talking
Frodo's
with a
sword.
female voice in the movie?
No, Shelob is just a spider, a giant spider. That's it. That's Shelob.
How do they make a spider into a sexy human? I don't.
That's what I'm fucking talking. That's why
don't get it.
it makes me so mad.
They took liberties
But-
in the first one, but I didn't think in.
They take liberties. This game is just using Middle Earth setting as its delivery mechanism for its story,
Yeah.
and it's using its lore, and it's using elements from the lore and plucking them out and making up its own kind of path for whatever way it wants to tell the story. But that aside, the game has a really cool system, which we all know about, called the Nemesis system.
Mhm.
That's very much like the main thing people talk about when they talk about this game.
Mhm.
It's a very cool system because what it does is it creates dynamic, fun, and dynamic stories that you experience throughout the game. Because your playthrough is going to be completely different from mine. Because whatever happens through these, you have orc captains and generals that exist in the world, and you encounter them. They all have unique personalities, weaknesses, and strengths, and ways they talk at you. They taunt you every time you get introduced to them, and sometimes you'll kill them. Sometimes they'll flee, and they'll either get shunned they'll get demoted in the ranks, or if they kill you because you're an immortal soul in this game, you have an immortal ability because an elf wraith is inhabiting your body. I don't know why, but it's another one of those things that they're fucking with the lore on.
You sound like you're really excited about.
I'll
the
tell you what it
direction.
is. I'll tell you what it is.
Um,
He's the original creator of the rings. That's what it is.
Right, and that's actually he is, and that's in the story. I don't think he is.
One
I think
thing.
in the books, it's just Sauron.
No. If
But
you read,
anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
one of
matter.
the
That's
things
not
I
the point
did
of
read
what
that they
this
fucked
game.
with. One of the things they did read, and I'll back you up on this, that they fucked with
Uh-huh.
is that concept of what happens to an elf doesn't happen in the lore of Middle Earth. Like
Right.
elves can't cross
Yeah.
over and become because
No,
of how
they go to Valnor.
they
and
go
they
to
die
a special
and live forever.
like yeah,
Yeah.
it's very much like it's very
Yeah.
inspired by Viking like
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter though. Like the story is like a nothing. Who cares what the story is? The
Right.
cool part is the orcs, and they're the things that are driving the enjoyment of the game. On top of that, the gameplay is actually really freaking cool. But to finish describing what can happen in this is there's actually a great YouTube video by Mark Brown who actually dives into the intricacies of the Nemesis system, which is like kind of like one of my secondary motivations to playing this, and it goes in. Like a character can run away from you, or they become your nemesis and they level up every time they kill you, and then they remind you whenever you run into them again of your last encounter with them. Or you'll kill one, he'll come back as like the Undying with like a new title. He'll be like Uruk the Undying, and then you'll kill him again and slice all of his limbs up. He'll come back again as like the Patchwork, like Uruk the Patchwork, and they remind you of every encounter you have with these people. And not only that, they get like randomly rolled a personality. So like sometimes they're like bards. Sometimes they're like obsessed with poison and fire. Sometimes they're like obsessed with necromancy. Like
Oh, that's interesting.
it's
So
a
that can be
really
different
cool
depending on your play. Like
entirely.
every save file gets like their personalities re-rolled like that.
They're all random. All the orcs are random.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
Really,
wild.
like they get attached with random traits and weaknesses and strengths. On top of that, they end up becoming a main part of your story, like your personal story, because they constantly remind you that they exist. Or sometimes you'll be fighting another captain, and then one of the other fuckers
They
that
will
like
fuck with you.
likes they'll like run into the battle and be like, I found you, I've been looking for you, I'm gonna get you this time. And like they'll come in, and now you're fighting two captains, and it's crazy. Like every time, like it's a unique kind of fighting experience. On top of that, they give you the Batman-like combat experience with a whole bunch of abilities. So you're messing up people with swords. You have the counter button, which is like the Batman trait, and you combo, and it's all about like getting that combo. But they give you a whole bunch of cool skills, like you can tame these like beasts on the field that like you can ride or fight. You can summon them to fight with you. You can. I haven't had this ability yet, but I know you can like actually like take over the minds of certain orcs and then make them fight alongside you. Or you can like instead of killing a captain, you can tell them to like infiltrate the ranks of the orcs, and then they become like a spy for you. And then like another captain will go, I know you sent a spy into our ranks, we're gonna find him. Like they remind you of all the actions that you take,
Yeah.
and it's pretty cool. Like that is just a fun power fantasy type game, and I'm
Yeah, that
enjoying
is
it.
fun.
So I played
What's up?
Shadow of Mordor, and then I played the DLC. And there was a power that wasn't in the main game that was in the DLC, where you could instant appear next to an orc. Maybe it was in the main game. I can't remember. But
That sounds right.
I just remember this power. You can instantly appear next to an orc and kill them, like stab them. You appear next to them with the knife already in them. And
You
I
get all
love
these like
that
wraith
power.
abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this elf wraith is inhabiting your body. You're essentially like kind of supernatural. So like you can like really quickly scale buildings, and yeah, like that's what that one of
That
those
was a
abilities you
line of
described.
sight thing.
Yeah.
You would just look to see where the guy is, and then instantly you could appear next to
cool.
him
I
with a
mean,
knife in him. Like it was so cool.
I don't hate the power fantasy that they're providing with you. I just don't like how they're doing it to Tolkien. But regardless, yeah, they depower you in the beginning of the game because you're wearing a ring of power. I don't know if it's the One Ring. It's probably not the One Ring, but you get it. Shelob takes it from you, and it depowers you essentially. So like you kind of like start over. But regardless, I'm currently playing through that game. I want to move on to the next game if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, go for it.
yeah.
Sounds cool though.
I
I didn't know the systems worked like that much
It's really
in depth
cool.
for like a unique experience. It's pretty cool.
Completely dynamic. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
if you guys watch Mark Brown's video, he does the Game Maker's Toolkit, one of my favorite YouTube channels. He goes into detail about like game mechanics and other things that make games fun and exciting and interesting. Highly recommend his channel. Everyone should go watch that. Oh, excuse me. The next game I played was a game that came out over the weekend called Medium. This is actually a game we talked about
Oh,
before. Yeah.
I've been seeing people play Medium.
So Medium is essentially a game that uses multiple like two worlds that your character inhabits. Your
Mhm.
character is a medium, essentially someone who communicates with the dead, and there are huge. It's essentially a puzzle suspense game with a story behind it. There is no combat, there's no fighting or anything like that. You're essentially investigating this supernatural area, this area that is kind of like elevated levels of like supernatural activity, and the puzzles work by literally splitting the screen like it's a multiplayer game, and you control two versions of yourself, and you solve puzzles by doing things in the spirit world that affect the real world, and you kind of like switch focus between both sides at the same time. So you can do you can like leave your body and have like an out of body experience to only control the spirit world, and you can only do that for a certain amount of time, and then you can unlock areas, and now you can progress. Like, it does a lot of that. The game is very pretty, but there are certain facial animations that aren't great, but otherwise, I just had to point out because I notice it every time like the main character talks. Sometimes the lip sync is off. It kind of looks like it was like a PS3 game model. I can't explain it, but either way, the environments are cool because it does take advantage of you're in a derelict hotel room, and now you're in this weird, twisted Silent Hill kind of like looking version of it. And it's cool that you kind of like jump between these two worlds to essentially just solve puzzles and learn about what's going on in the world. But overall, it's pretty good. There was like a weird stealth section I played through that kind of felt like dated. It wasn't exactly fun or easy to do, and they make you like every time you fail it, they throw you all the way back to the beginning. So I wasn't enjoying that, but otherwise, it's pretty interesting. I would play it for the story if you're gonna play it. If it does hold you, free on Game Pass. Free on Game Pass. So you guys
is it really
play that shit?
interesting?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
Damn, dude.
So is Shadow of War, which is how I'm playing that.
Yeah.
Shadow of War 2 is also. And the final game I'm playing came out yesterday. It is Destruction All Stars. This was a PS5 exclusive game that is free on PlayStation Plus this month. That was one of like the launch titles that they like kind of like showed off.
Yeah.
It's cool. I don't know if it's gonna have hooks in me because it's mostly a multiplayer game. It is a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
It's a combination of like Twisted Metal without the power up, like the car power ups. Overwatch, Destruction Derby is essentially what that game combines.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of out of car segments and in car segments. It starts out, you pick a character, they have like a special ability, and they have a special car ability. So I'll give you an example. One character that I played as could turn invisible when he was on foot and run around the map, collect power-ups, and then jump in another car.
That's pretty cool.
One character can like instantly dodge vehicles that are crashing into you. All right, and maybe I should explain what the object of the game is. So I played with the Lunar Castaway Boys on their stream last night, and we played the game mode called Carnado, which is essentially in the center of the destruction field is a big tornado, and you accumulate points by crashing into other cars and of the enemy team and like destroying them essentially.
Yeah.
Then once you
fantastic name just in general.
It's a great name. They did a great job with that. One thing that they did, and then once you collect as many points as you can, up to 50, you crash your car into the Carnado, destroy it, and you bank your points. Kind of like Gambit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then once you do that, oh hell yeah. And you're running around dodging cars on the field. You can hijack enemy cars. You can, you run around, you go for the next car. Once you build up your special, you can summon your character's special car. And for example, one of the characters I picked had like chainsaws in front of the car, and you could just like activate them and like run into any other cars, and it would like chew it up. Overall, it's a pretty okay experience. We had some problems like keeping our party in a match together. That was kind of like an annoying thing that happened.
Yeah.
Launch day server issues is all I can probably blame that on. But otherwise, it did make good use of the DualShock 4. I'm sorry, the DualShock 5. Yeah, whatever the DualSense controller.
Yeah.
when your
What-
car is
what kind
heavily
of things did it
damaged.
do?
Yeah, when your car is heavily damaged, it resists you. It resists you on the accelerator, and it kind of like if your car is like missing a tire or something, like you feel it kind of struggle to maintain, like all the way pressure down. Like you feel the car's pain through the trigger. Like, is
Right.
the best way I could explain it. Yeah. Other than that, it's like a small game. This game I don't think would have had legs otherwise if you had to pay $60 or $70 for it. Like this is definitely the epitome of like a PlayStation Plus game because all it is multiplayer modes. You know what I mean?
Some of them have like that energy, and that's a fine thing to have. You know, some games just need that lower cost of entry, multiplayer fun with friends kind of vibe.
Put it out there in the world for everyone to play it, and you get a Rocket League, right? Like
Yeah,
Rocket
exactly.
League success was like highly based off of it being that PlayStation Plus release. Same with Fall Guys. Being on
Yeah,
PlayStation Plus
sure.
must have elevated the game exponentially.
Yes.
So maybe you'll see the same type of success with this game. I don't know if it's fun enough for me to keep playing it. But it's a fun if you got like 30 minutes, 40 minutes to kill, hop in and just like destroy some cars with your friends. Like that's definitely it's a fun, upbeat, positive game despite it being about, destroying cars.
Right.
But other than that, those are all the games I've been playing.
That's pretty
Other
cool,
than
man.
Sekiro, which I streamed on Monday for the snow day, and I started with Sekiro, and holy freaking shit, go watch the replay of that VOD if you want to see how aggravating that game is. to
I
play.
can imagine, man.
Straight up on this, like I was playing for like an hour and a half against the same boss, like literally just beating my head against this guy, and it was painful. I couldn't do it. That might just be an off-stream game because I can't see that being entertaining to watch, or maybe it is entertaining. Maybe
It depends on the people watching, and it depends on the person broadcasting. Like you've got to
True.
want to have that be your content for good or for bad, and people are going to need to want to be looking for that. It's going to be a very kind of hit or miss thing when you're just deciding to play that for a day.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Let's talk about what we're gonna play this year.
Oh, that's a
In
great
the
trend.
year of our Lord
There you go.
2021.
Yeah. So we're just gonna have a chill conversation chat about the stuff that's planned to come out. If we know,
Absolutely.
if we don't know, if we have time frames, if we have dates, things we're looking forward to, all kinds of fun stuff. I think we're gonna go through a month by month.
Absolutely.
Work for you guys?
Yeah,
here?
we're just gonna hit on things that stand out to us.
Mhm.
We're not gonna go through the whole list because there's a lot of games coming out already.
Yeah, you guys don't want to hear us
Year.
reading a list of things that are supposed to come out in 2021. You can find that on the internet. That information's out there.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure
there's
it's
also
somewhere.
Big things that we're looking for.
If I may start us off,
Sure,
I'll bring
yeah,
up the first
please.
game in February. I'm excited about Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury on the Switch.
Kevin
Oh,
Oates,
dude, I
Kevin
know,
Oates
I
is
know.
really
I'm
obsessed with
also
that.
very excited for that.
So I never got to experience that on the Wii U, like so many of us did, because no one bought the Wii U except for you guys, Kevin Oates and
Me and Kevin were the
Trip.
only people that bought a Wii U. We bought one Wii U together. So that's exactly how many people bought this thing in the world.
Now, the exciting thing about the 3D World is Bowser's Fury, which is apparently like kind of like an open worldish expansion to this.
Yeah, and that
It's-
was not
it's not
part of the
designed-
original release of this.
It's not. This is new for this game, for this
Mhm.
release, which is wild. And apparently, it's not designed like the original game either, where it's like you pick a level and you move on, right? Like on a board.
Right.
That's what the other game was, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
This one's-
the original game is like it's like the world
Super Mario.
entries in Super Mario. So like you have like hubs and you just pop between the hubs, and the hubs are levels. But just it's that format just for a 3D game. As opposed to like the fully 3D mainline Mario games. This is back to like the world and the original series
Mhm.
kind of vibe. But just in 3D.
Bowser's Fury is supposed to be like an open world with interconnected hubs that you walk around in. Like it's not like there's like a board where you're picking a level and jumping in. You're literally just thrown into it and you decide what levels you want to play. Like it's more open. It's kind of
Right.
cool. Like I'm kind of want to check that out. What about you guys? Anything stand out to you? I got
Are we talking about February? Picking one from
February. Yeah. I see Persona 5 Strikers on there. Does that do anything for your trip?
I was thinking about it, and the thing that would have gotten me is the fact that it apparently does continue the story of Persona 5, like in a meaningful way. But
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of that kind of like hacky slashy.
So combat.
Yeah, it's not really my vibe, if I'm being honest about it. In general, there's not a lot that I am looking forward to when it comes to February. The only thing that's jumping out at me on this list is a game called Valheim. And
I know nothing about that.
nothing about this game, but I saw King Gathalion tweet he just said download this game now, and I respect his opinion a lot in terms of content and ideas of what makes a video game fun and engaging, especially across like persistent world games. If you guys don't know, he's someone who has been playing Destiny for years and Borderlands before that, and he's just a big name in the streaming game. But he said download this now with like no other information, so maybe that's a stamp of approval on what this could be. So I have to do more research on that. But Valheim was out as of yesterday, so that's now available and it's on PC.
Oh shit!
So
Nice.
I'll be popping into the Steam store to check that out.
I mean,
What about you, Felix? You see anything?
I'll look at the price of it. The only game in that entire list that intrigues me at all is Ghost and Goblins Resurrection on the Switch.
All right.
I played a hell of a lot of Ghost and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. So I played a lot of those. I like those games. They're really fucking hard, but I've always loved them. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't
We're
know if
checking
I'm
out.
gonna get this. Like, if they tell me the price is like over $20, I'm not even gonna fuck with it.
I can see that being a
Because
$20.
Because I'll just play Ghost and Goblins. Don't try and upcharge me on Ghost and Goblins, bitch. It's a 20. It's not even a $20 game.
It's like 100 quarters back in the day, right?
Yeah,
That's it.
I pumped them in.
So, fun fact: I just looked up Valheim on Steam, and the little blurb here is a brutal exploration and survival game for 1 to 10 players, set in a procedurally generated purgatory inspired by Viking culture. Battle, build, and conquer your way to a saga worthy of Odin's patronage.
Okay.
Screenshots do look very interesting as well.
Let's talk about March. There's a
Yeah.
lot in March that I'm actually excited about. Is anything stand out to you guys?
Um.
I'll go.
I got it.
I'm waiting because I think I know what Felix is going to say, but I do have one I'm very excited for
Disco
March.
Elysium, the final cut. I'm getting.
Oh, that's your one?
Yeah, I'm getting on either PS5 or I might. It's not. I guess it's not releasing on the Switch, so
It's also on Stadia.
probably PS5.
I would have said the Elder Scrolls Online expansion, Felix.
Okay, here's the problem. Remember earlier when you were talking about your Final Fantasy 14 and how you said the statement, "I'm halfway through the thing that people played before."
Right.
Okay, I'm like 7 DLCs behind with Elder Scrolls Online.
Okay.
I don't want to play any new Elder Scrolls Online content.
So
What's crazy is I'm buying it to complete the world, to complete the game. Like, this kind of shit I already bought. Like, I paid for that DLC already, but I won't play it probably until next year.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Like, I own
totally fucking behind.
I own all the expansions for 14, but I haven't obviously touched the newest stuff because I need to get through.
Right. That's
Everything
kind of how
else.
I'm realizing that's kind of how it works with MMOs. It's like you get around to it whenever it comes out. You pay the subscription fee. You get the games.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, that looks exciting. The other kind of runner-up is, and this will be me buying this game for a third fucking time, is I'm definitely going to get Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning on the Switch. I can't buy that game enough. It's so fucking good. And it would be
That's
great
funny.
to have.
Support it.
It'll be great to have it handheld, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta let me know how that experience is for you because I might think about dipping into there as well. 'Cause that's another very dense
No, I
game.
went back and rebought it on the Xbox recently. It's installed now. I already talked about it on the show like recently, like a couple months back. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
It still holds up. I can't believe how good it is.
Just coming
It
to the
shocks
Switch.
me
Yeah.
how fucking good it is. So
A few of the ones that I'm excited about are the first one. I would say I'm mildly excited for the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake.
Mm-hmm.
If they do it right, if the reviews are good and it sounds like they did it justice, then perhaps I dive into that.
I played a lot
But
of
the-
Prince of Persia. Yeah.
Yeah, I played that back. Yeah, I played that. That version was great. Like that game. But the one that stands out to me the most is Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch, which is I've been clamoring
yeah.
for a good modern feeling like world like version of
Mhm.
Monster Hunter. The demo is available right now on the Switch, and it plays like Monster Hunter World. Like it is definitely a scaled back version of World that is meant to be portable. So and they took it to a new setting, new style. All the weapons are in it. Like it looks like the game feels like Monster Hunter on the Switch, and multiplayer's there. So hey,
It's
take
so
it
funny,
on,
man,
yeah.
because like, Monster Hunter, if people don't know out there, was a handheld series essentially. It's a handheld franchise, and then it came out with World for the consoles finally, and now everyone's like, "Can we get like a handheld Monster Hunter, please?" That's what we need out of this series.
Well, the problem is the old games are like they have a really high barrier to entry of understanding and enjoyment. They're a lot more difficult and tedious to play. And I tried the Generations games, and they feel nowhere near as good as World. Like World
Yeah.
has a modern feel to it that those games just don't have anymore.
Mhm.
This takes that and puts it on the Switch. That takes that World feeling, which I appreciate. And they added cool
Yeah.
mobility. Like you got these like little flies that are essentially like Spider-Man, like shooting webs. Like you can essentially like spider sling across the world, and it's
Oh,
kind of
that's
cool.
interesting.
And you get a dog that you can ride that's like a fighting companion with you. So that's
Yeah.
pretty sweet
Nice.
stuff.
Um,
Any other thing else?
Yeah, I'm actually, excuse me, I'm actually really, really excited. Even though we don't have a specific date for this yet, it is still targeted for March. I'm excited for Kena Bridge of Spirits. Have you guys seen like trailers or gameplay for this?
I'm gonna get this wrong probably, but is that the Indian focused game?
The what focus game?
I might be thinking something else. It's a game about like Indian culture. No, I'm thinking of the wrong game.
No, I don't think so. This one features
You're doing the
like a
Italian
girl.
hand gesture for eating.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
there's like cooking. The one.
yeah. No, this is like a girl in the forest, and she commands like forest spirits and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
I can find a little trailer and pop it into one of our chats here, but it looks very, very, very gorgeous and interesting in terms of the gameplay mechanics, with the way you can control these beings in the
I
forest.
think I'm thinking of Raji and Ancient Epic. I'm sorry, you guys.
Is it JRPG or is it RPG?
No, this looks like an action based game.
Side scroller?
No, fully 3D.
Cool.
Let me drop this into one of our chats. Actually, I'll put it into Twitch chat so everyone can take a look at this, including you guys if you'd like. Yeah, this is the announcement trailer here. I think there have been some other trailers here, but you'll get gameplay in the second half of this, and all of this is in game. So it's obviously it's next gen and it's PC as well.
Oh,
Oh,
so
this
this is
looks
not a
cool.
game I could play.
Yeah, you have
PS5.
Oh, next gen. Sorry.
Yeah.
I misunderstood what you said.
Yeah. This is a PlayStation
looks
and PC exclusive.
Really
Actually, so this is not on Xbox for some reason, but it's PC and PS4 and PS5.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
The animation is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It looks like you're playing a Pixar game.
Oh,
Damn,
yeah.
I play this.
That's dope.
Kena Bridge of Spirits. That's gonna be the March pick for me for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it looks
Very
very pretty.
All right. April. No, wait. Okay, yeah. April. Not a lot here on this list.
Well, yeah,
Um,
but they got some bangers. They got some bangers here, dude.
Big bangers.
I don't see anything I'm interested in.
Ooh,
So I'll start quickly with Returnal. I know there's some other there. I'm skipping over a lot, but Returnal is the House Marquee game. The guys who made they made a lot of really good arcade style games. This is their first trip into an actual third person adventure game. Lots of buzz around this game because of Housemarque and just their pedigree as a studio.
yeah.
But obviously, I skipped right over new Pokemon Snap. which
Pokemon
is
Snap, dude.
on Snap, dude. That's
Mhm.
gonna be a fucking game. People have been asking for a new version of this game.
I know.
uh,
Really have. Besides Snap though, which I mean, Pokemon Snap is what it is. If you know what it is, then you're excited. If you enjoyed it, if you don't know what it is, it's a game where you take pictures of Pokemon, usually on rails in some kind of machine that carries you around the world, and that's it. But it's a lot of fun.
It is a
That's
lot
gonna
of
be
fun.
amazing on the Switch. What I'm excited for, however, is Outriders, because Outriders looks to be like another shooty, loot-based, persistent world game, and I'm a sucker for one of those to see if someone can get it right. And this is Square Enix doing this, and it looks like they ripped off the Hunter design from Destiny because one of the characters has a cloak. So I'm usually in. If you got a good cloak on a character, I'm in. So
Didn't they
we'll
have
to see.
not a lot of luck with the most recent one they did though, the Marvel game? Like, wasn't it garbage?
must
From
have
what
still
I've heard,
made
yes,
money.
I've not played the Marvel.
But you know what I'm talking about, the one that Diamond Jab's into.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but
Marvel's Avengers.
prior to that, did they do successful service type games like that?
And I think that's the first time they're dipping into this kind of stuff.
Other than Marvel. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know if that's a good sign.
So I don't know who developed the Marvel game. Do they have their own game studios, like Marvel Game Studios?
Yeah. It's probably they're
no.
probably different development
No, it was-
studios.
It was the Marvel game was done by the Tomb Raider studio.
Oh, was it?
The studio who made the new Tomb Raider games did this. Yeah,
You're right. You're
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I don't know their
Why-
name.
Which is why they didn't make the third Tomb Raider game because they were
Oh, right,
making
right,
Avengers.
Right. Well, they should have been making it.
Yeah. I don't remember. I don't. It's not
The
like
studio,
Idios or something.
yeah, the developers for Outriders is a developer named People Can Fly, and I've never heard of People Can Fly.
Okay.
But let me look up their games here.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. That right there is a testament that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're both just published by Square. So
they're
I mean,
just
Square is
published.
definitely like trying to get into the persistent world looter shooter game. Probably a little bit late, I would say, on like the trend. If you're hopping on trends,
Mhm.
but if they can do it right, no one's come out of the gate with it right, and I don't really think Outriders is going to do it either. But
Right.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, they did work on Gears of War. Bulletstorm, Painkiller. Those are people. That's People Can Fly.
Yeah, so that should be at least be
they were-
interesting
they
to
were-
release.
They were a development studio, like a satellite studio for Epic Games back when Gears of War was their game.
Got it.
Mhm.
That's why I saw
Interesting.
Fortnite on their website. And I'm like, you guys didn't do Fortnite, but now I understand. As a satellite studio.
Makes sense.
Yep.
The other game in April, Near Replicant version 1.2247444. Anyway, that's the title of it. But Near Automata was one of my favorite games
Yeah.
whenever that came out, and this is like redoing the first game to make it feel better. Looks really cool. I will go back and play that game for Near Automata. Hell yes. May, another packed month, super packed. And let's just talk about it. Let's just rip this Band-Aid off. Let's talk about Resident Evil Village. All right. Let's talk
Rip
about the tall lady. Let's talk about Lady Damascus and how I
That's
want
the
her to
one.
step up.
That's the only one I'm interested. You want me to tell you one game? That's the one.
Yes,
From that month.
that's the game. Have you watched the trailer footage for it? Like,
Yeah.
have you seen man, people are horny over these girls. They're horny over them. They can't get enough of
fucking gross.
these.
Everyone's been in
vampires.
lockdown for too long, and you got some gigantic, nearly 10-foot woman with giant breasts all over your television screen. It's gonna
It's
do
like a
things
mountain
to
of
us.
tits. You got to need a
Yeah.
grappling hook to
I
fucking
want her-
climb up that.
People want her to kill you. Like they want her to. They want to be killed by her, and they're like, yes, please do it. Just end
But
it.
I mean that has gone on forever with vampire lore, like the sexy vampire lady seducing.
Yeah, it's very much into the vampire like mythology.
Remember the scene in Bram Stoker's Dracula where Keanu Reeves is getting sucked dry by 3 hot vampire chicks. It was amazing. You know,
That's the dream, man.
It's
That's the
amazing.
dream.
we're living for it.
Forgot to mention, I played that demo that they released.
Yeah,
It's
did not
just
know that was even a thing.
It's a showcase of the visuals on next gen. It looks beautiful. You have to solve 2 puzzles and then it ends. And the lady Damascus or whatever her name is, she
Mhm.
shows up and just takes you out, and you're just you're like, yes, thank you, you did it. Anyway, It's cool. It looks cool, and I'm definitely interested in the Resident Evil Village game.
Mass
Can-
Effect Legendary Edition also is coming out.
Dude, now did you? I know Felix hasn't, but did you play those games? Trip?
I played a vast majority of the first one. I don't think I finished it. I mean, I know for a fact I didn't finish it. I'm not sure how far I went into the game. I feel like I am getting ready for the final act in my original save. But this is when they came out for the PS3 in one collection, and that's the first time I played Mass Effect. I loved it. I loved like the role playing element, and they really. I mean, obviously, it's it's the God, can't think of the studio, the Dragon Age studio. It's BioWare. Thank you. So I don't sound like a goddamn idiot. Of course, it's BioWare, and that's what they do. They do like the role play, and they felt incredible. And they just released a trailer recently for the official release date, and it looks gorgeous, and I'm real excited. They didn't say it was a remake, but they have redone things like the health bars and your little like your HUD, and I'm excited to see how that all is going to play on next gen.
They apparently fixed things like the elevator rides are too long, so like the loading time you can skip those. Like,
oh, nice.
They facelifted the entire game. Essentially, they had to they pulled old code and rewrote a lot of it just to like feel like they fixed like the vehicle sections. They fixed the combat of the first game.
Wow, yeah.
All of that has been like retouched. Yeah. I only played 2, and I beat it. Fucking loved every second of it. But I never played 3. I never played 1.
Yeah.
This may be the time to hop in.
I think it is.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Deathloop? Does that say anything to you from the
Nope.
studio who did
Yeah. I was very excited for this when they
Arcane.
dropped the trailer.
That's competitive multiplayer, though, isn't it?
It's not.
Oh, what is it?
It's the guys who did the shit. What's that game they did? Arcane Studios. They
Is
fucking
it like, yeah, Dishonored?
Dishonored. Thank you.
And
It's that
Dishonored
studio.
2.
They take a lot of the mechanics that are from that game and like kind of inject it into this like hunter be hunted type like cat and mouse style game. It's single player. It's not multiplayer. I don't think it's multiplayer.
No.
But it looks cool, and if you like what they did with Dishonored, then you might like this game. It looks.
And I always like the idea of a good like time loop mechanic.
Yes.
Why did I
Games
not
are
get the impression from that? I got the impression from the trailer that was a multiplayer game.
I mean,
Well, you know what?
Maybe.
I got like at least 3 computers around me, so I'm gonna use one of these.
I got like 4.
Rewatch
I mean,
this.
I could fucking look it up too. I got a fucking phone, my watch. Probably could look it up on that somehow.
Other than that game, have you
this
guys seen
did not
Biomutant?
have multiplayer vibes to me, Felix.
It does not have multiplayer.
Does not. It looked just like a.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be their MO. They didn't make Dishonored was not fucking multiplayer. That's why I was confused.
Okay, there is a PvP element in the game. In Deathloop, you have the option to jump into another player's game as Juliana
it's fucking
and
Evolve.
take them out.
Let's just Evolve. Remember that game
It's-
Evolve?
It's
Well,
Dark
Evolve
Souls.
was asymmetrical,
It's
but
like Dark Souls
too
multiplayer.
into the weeds.
It's like you invade someone else's game and hunt them as they're playing.
That's what Evolve was. It was 6 people, and then one person is the creature, and he could come in and
That's
kill
not the same thing.
It isn't?
Yeah, in Evolved, you were playing this game
A
like
multiplayer match
for that
Yeah.
specific purpose, where you would either be on the team side or you'd be the one
Oh.
monster side, and would be an asymmetrical
Oh,
multiplayer. game.
okay, I
One
see.
person
I
has
see
all
what you're
the
saying.
power,
They're playing
the other person as a team.
like a
Dead by
long
Daylight is
single
asymmetrical.
player timeline. Yeah, I get it.
And then an assassin, a player invades your world as you're playing to hunt you, and you fight back.
Yeah, just like a little
You-
extra,
Yeah.
bullshit, you know.
It's like that Watch Dogs.
Definitely the thing you would absolutely hate, Felix. Some extra fucking clown coming into your game and just fucking with you.
You guys should look up Biomutant. That also comes out in May. This game looks awesome. You play as like this little like mutant rat, cute rat thing, and it's like all about I don't know. It's like a combat game with this little creature.
Yeah.
I don't know what he is. He's not a rat, but it looks really cool. That is a THQ Nordic joint. And it's like an open world game, and you're a little, I don't know what this is, like a squirrel. I don't know what this is.
It's
With
kind
giant
of
sword.
a tiny mammal.
Yeah.
I mean, I only
Looks really
buy
cool.
I only buy one game a month, so May is gonna have to be Resident Evil 8. But like,
Game Pass save us.
the other one, I need to see more of Hood Outlaws and Legends because there's something intriguing about that. Like, I liked the trailer that I watched, but it was a game. It was a game, not a gameplay trailer. It was a game cinematic trailer, and it wasn't enough for me. Like, I don't know if the game's gonna suck or not. And cinematics tell you nothing. The
They
game
don't,
could
yeah.
just fucking be complete dookie.
Chance to take though.
It is a chance.
I will not chance it on a goddamn cinematic anymore. I'll chance it on gameplay footage. That's about it.
I would
Yeah, fair.
also use reviews. Reviews can give you an idea of what to expect as well.
That is true.
In June,
Yeah, I was gonna say personally, looking ahead, there's not that's locked down for June, and I'm not excited for any game coming up until October.
yeah, Back for Blood is the only thing I see in June, which is the Left 4 Dead guys trying to make another Left 4 Dead game.
Yeah.
But I think that lightning in a bottle may be out. You know what I mean? Might have been
I've heard really good things about
Back for Blood.
Back for Blood, yeah, from people that were playing the
Comes out on my birthday.
beta and stuff.
So how about that?
And there's the Elder Scrolls launching another. The original Elder Scrolls Online launched in June. June is like the time when they like to launch their big DLCs.
Interesting. Final Fantasy 14 does it in like July, I think, or late
Yeah.
June. It's like a similar time frame.
Maybe they like to do it at the beginning of the summer because they think people are going to have time off to play more or something. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Get the kids out of school.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like later in the year we got Ghostwire Tokyo.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That was my October excitement. Ghostwire Tokyo
Yeah,
looks
same here.
incredible.
Same here.
Yeah, I hope that game comes together. I still don't know much. We don't really know much about it other than those trailers.
Yeah.
It's funny. We also don't know a lot about those later months, but I guess a lot can change over summer.
Absolutely. Yeah. 'Cause what happens is like E3, well, in the past, before whatever this past 2 years have been, E3 is usually where they set up the holiday season. You know what I mean? They set up all those releases. But so who knows what we see the second half of the year.
Right.
What is
Venba was that Indian game I was thinking of, by the way. There's a picture of it on this page we're looking at on Games Radar.
What does TBC mean? As it like, my mind is
To
not
be-
computing that. To be continued.
to be concluded?
To be conceded.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah.
And then of course we got Halo Infinite, which is supposed to come out.
To be considered. To be considered. To be considered.
Oh man, there are so many games on this like who knows when it's coming out list. But like keep in mind, guys, we got like God of War 2, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, or whatever they're calling it. Those are on the dock at some point.
Oh, Venba does look interesting. It's more like a novel, like a narrative novel kind of thing with like cooking mechanics. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know
that's
anything about
that's the game I was thinking of.
this. Yeah,
All right, Willie Morgan and the Curse of Bone Town sounds like a porno.
that does. That sounds like something up your alley, 1000%.
Willie Morgan and the Curse of Bone Town. Come on down to my Bone Town.
That sounds like a stream show you'd have. Felix Berger's Bone Town.
Come on down to Bone Town, ladies.
Yeah, that's you.
Fuck, man. And right below it is Leisure Suit Larry. Wet Dreams Dry Twice.
Good lord.
Oh man,
It's-
leisure
I
suit.
can't
wow,
say it
that's
either.
actually
I can't,
really
they know
annoying
it.
to say.
They know.
Leisure
they
Suit
know
Larry
it's-
is like just that kind of franchise though.
Let's see.
Well, they do
Dying Light
another-
2 is on this list.
What did you say?
To be decided. Dying Light 2.
Yeah, I don't think
Fucking making that
I
game
feel
for
like that's
12
not
years.
coming out 2021. A lot of games on like when we get down to like the speculative part of these lists, I think there's some games on here that like are just not actually going to be out in 2021. Like-
I agree.
Like, hold on, let me just do a little search here. Hold please.
Like we got
Beyond Good
Gotham-
and Evil 2 is on this list. Like
right.
Destiny 3 is on this list. Like come on. Come
Oh,
on. Destiny 3 is not ever happening. It doesn't need to exist anymore. Like
It's true.
Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2. Yes, we're 1000% getting that in Christmas of this year. Holiday
think so?
2021. No. No, God no.
Got me excited. I really want to play this game.
Of course, would I want it to? Yeah, 1000%. But there's no fucking way. We're gonna be waiting conservatively 4 more years for that.
No,
Two,
no.
two and a half
I
more
think-
years from this point.
I mean, we're definitely
Just from-
getting
From
Far
this
Cry
point,
6.
2.5 more
right?
years.
You think we're getting
Yeah,
Far
Far
Cry 6? Definitely.
Well,
Hold on. I'm gonna actually. I want to mark down this.
hang on.
right now.
Final Fantasy 7 remake. They said when this came out, their pipeline was already well established at the point they can actually get through making these games. Like they know what they're doing when it comes to Final Fantasy 7. So
Oh, yeah.
like you'll see a shorter time frame between games.
Yeah, and shorter time frame. Remember, it could be 13 years versus 15 years.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's Square Enix we're talking about.
You
Yeah,
think we're
but
getting
I think
Gotham Knights
be-
this year?
2.5 from now.
Probably. I
Gotham
would say
Knights,
that game looks
probably.
pretty in there. Yeah, Gotham Knights.
I really want to see. I really want to play that.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm into it. What else do we got? Wow, this list is just endless.
It just
Um,
goes on and on. Look at all this multi-billion dollars.
These games just must have been announced at some point, and they just stuck it on this list.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just like, yeah, maybe 2021.
It's possible.
But either way, the best is yet to come, you guys.
Dude, but this
What do
this
you- what do you-
fucking to be considered list is like fucking like Charlie and that fucking like what's where he's smoking the cigarettes with the pins on the wall and shit.
Oh, the Pepe Sylvia scene.
The Pepe Sylvia. It's like he's
Pepe
like
Sylvia.
then I realized there is no Pepe Sylvia. It's like
Hello, Carol. Carol.
Carol.
There's no Carol.
There's no Carol. That's what this list is. It's like he put everything up on the fucking
Yeah,
board.
exactly.
And it's like
It's pretty ridiculous.
none of these games are coming. None of them.
Yeah,
None of them.
Final Fantasy 16. We're definitely getting that one.
Oh shit, that might be worth. Oh,
We're
wait.
not getting that one.
That's
Again,
fucking
not a-
on
not
there.
a-
Final Fantasy 16.
To be fair, this list does not have a 2021 release here. It's at the very, very bottom.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they actually they separated out. They're like games we think are in 2021. Then they're like games we think are in 2022. And then they're like 2023 where they have Pragmata. I have no idea what that is. And then under that they're just like, you know, TBC. Again, have we figured out what TBC means?
To
No.
be considered is what I'm fucking like thinking.
It's not to be considered.
That
To
sounds close. What about that? Is that Suicide Squad game doing anything for you?
Oh, to be
not for
confirmed is
me.
TBC.
Oh, to be confirmed. Yes. There we go.
That's stupid. I think everyone can get behind TBD. Why do we need TBC?
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, I think that's a great talk of things to come.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us on this podcast experience we call The Emerging Gamer. I've been Neo Ayoshi. You can follow me at twitch.tv/Neo Ayoshi for games. I'm just going to pop on live when you'll least expect it. Twitter.com/Neo_Ayoshi to get my hot takes there. Trip.
Thanks as well, guys, for listening to the show tonight. I am Trip Zero. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Trip0TV. All of my socials are also Trip0TV, so I'm very easy to find. We've been playing Stardew Valley on stream. Just finished our challenge run of the community center in year 1, so now we're on to year 2. And all of the new things in update 1.5. So the farming fun is going on the stream. Stuff in the future, Kina we just talked about, that's going to be in March, so we're definitely going to be hitting Kina on stream. Destiny 2's new season starts next week on Tuesday. I don't know if we're going to be coming back to that for primary content, but we'll see. You know, if the season is fun, if there's fun things to do with friends, of course we're going to be hopping in and flexing our shooty muscles. But yeah, stay tuned. And then Felix.
Felix.
Oh, Hey guys, Felix Hergood
Oh.
here. Yeah, Felix Hergood at Felix Hergood on Twitter. You see it right below me on the fucking screen.
Not if they're listening.
My life is
Not
that is
audio
very
product.
true. At Felix Hergood on Twitch as well. I have plans at some point in 2021 to come back to streaming. My job took away my mornings, and therefore I don't get a chance to do any morning streams, and that's what I love doing. And late night streams, I fall motherfucking to sleep. So, like, I don't know when I'm coming back until my job schedule adjusts, and that's why everything's fucked. That's why everything's fucked right now. But right now, I've gone back to playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey to finally complete it. I'm over 400 hours into a file. It's nuts.
Godspeed.
Ooh.
So there you
Well,
go.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot.
We'll,
Thanks, everyone.
we'll see you next
Catch you later.